Imagine this. Two friends graduate from college in the same year. One becomes a software engineer, the other becomes a school teacher. 20 years later, the teacher owns a home, has solid investments, and rarely worries about money. The engineer, he earns a six-figure salary, but somehow he's always broke. No savings, credit card debt, constant financial stress. How is that possible? Because income doesn't determine wealth. Behavior does. Today, we're going to break down the invisible financial habits that quietly decide who builds real wealth and who stays stuck forever. The coffee shop experiment. Let's start with a simple thought experiment. Imagine three people sitting in a coffee shop. Alex earns $40,000 a year. Brian earns $80,000 a year. Chris earns $200,000 a year. If you had to guess, who do you think will become financially stable? Most people would immediately pick Chris. But statistics tell a very different story. In reality, once basic needs are covered, financial stability has almost nothing to do with how much you earn. It comes down to something far more powerful, habits that repeat every single day. The lifestyle trap. Let's look at Brian. When Brian got his first raise, he celebrated. New apartment, better car, more nights out. Nothing crazy, just small upgrades. Then he got another raise. So the apartment got bigger, the car got newer. The lifestyle slowly expanded to match his new income. Psychologists call this lifestyle inflation. Your spending quietly grows until it perfectly matches your income. Suddenly, no matter how much you make, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. It's like running on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. The harder you run, the more exhausted you feel, but you never actually move forward. The quiet advantage. Now let's look at Alex, the one with the lowest income. Alex never earned huge money, but he did something most people never do. Every month, automatically, 10% of his income went into investments. Not trading, not guessing the market. Just simple, boring index funds. The first few years, nothing impressive, maybe just a few $1,000s. But 10 years later, compounding started to wake up. 15 years later, the snowball was rolling on its own. This is the strange paradox of wealth. Slow, consistent habits often beat big salaries. The hidden enemy, debt. Now let's talk about Chris, the high earner making $200,000 a year. On paper, Chris should be rich. But here's the reality. Luxury car payments, student loans, credit cards, an expensive mortgage. Every month, his money flows out in 10 different directions. Chris isn't really earning $200,000 anymore. He's feeding a mountain of financial obligations. Debt is like gravity. The heavier it gets, the harder it becomes to move forward. A simple visual. Imagine two buckets. One has a small hole, the other has 5 large holes. You pour the same amount of water into both. Which one fills faster? Obviously, the one with fewer holes. Money works exactly the same way. Wealth isn't about pouring more water in, it's about closing the holes. The time multiplier. There's another invisible force most people underestimate. Time. If you invest $300 per month starting at age 25, you could end up with hundreds of thousands of dollars by retirement. But if you start at age 35, you might need to invest double or even more to reach the same result. Time is the most powerful financial multiplier that exists, yet it's also the one people waste the most. The psychology of enough. Finally, money isn't just math. It's psychology. There will always be someone richer, someone with a bigger house, a nicer car, or a better vacation. If your definition of success keeps moving, you'll never feel wealthy, no matter how much you have. Some of the most financially stable people aren't obsessed with making more money. They're obsessed with defining what enough means for them. Once they reach that point, they stop chasing status and start enjoying life. The big realization. So what really separated the teacher from the broke engineer? It wasn't intelligence, it wasn't opportunity, it wasn't luck. It was just a few quiet habits repeated consistently for years. Spend slightly less than you earn. Avoid unnecessary debt. Invest consistently. Protect yourself from emergencies. Understand what enough looks like. That's it. No secret formula, no financial genius required. Just discipline applied over time. Here's the strange truth about money. The decisions that shape your financial future rarely feel important in the moment. It's just a coffee you didn't buy, a small investment you made, a purchase you decided to skip. But over decades, those tiny decisions compound into completely different lives. One day, you wake up and realize something surprising. Wealth wasn't built in one big moment. It was built in thousands of small ones. If this article changed the way you think about money, feel free to share it with someone who needs to read it. I'd love to hear from you. What's one financial habit that has changed your life? Drop it in the comments below. I read every single one. See you in the next one.